Right, good evening, everyone. We've got 2 more Riyadh season previews to come. This is our 7th and what should have been final one. But we've a lot more to come, boys, very shortly. But we'll cover that in the next video. We're going to cover Shakur Stevenson versus Josh Padley. He's getting the opportunity of a lifetime. Stay ready to say he got the call. I read that he was up someone's loft or something like that when he got the call 48 hours ago. So massive credit to him. Big win against Mark Chamberlain, last time out of Wembley on the AJ Dubois card. Shakur, can't seem to catch a break. Obviously, the Cordina fight fell off. Now the Schofield fight fell off. It's probably he just wants to get inside the ropes and actually have a fight if you're him. So probably good work by all involved to keep that going. Boys, we'll probably not go into as much detail on this one as we have the other fights earlier in the week. Because it's probably the most favoured fight on the card, let's be honest. Shakur Stevenson's going to be heavy odds. You could be looking at Mike Tyson, Buster Douglas style upset if Josh Padley goes and wins a WBC on Saturday night. But good luck to him. Obviously, we're British. We want to see him do the business. I'll come to both of you as I always do. Give me a little breakdown on what you see Saturday night here.
Yeah, look, first of all, we back the Brits, being British ourselves, and Josh Padley from, as he said in an interview earlier, being up aloft in Sheffield on Tuesday afternoon to having a last-minute ice check and check weight done and being on a flight by 1 o'clock on when yesterday it was. It's what a crazy 48 hours, and this is why you stay ready in boxing, isn't it? You never know when the phone's going to win. You never know when the opportunity is going to come. I mean, this is for him probably the biggest opportunity he ever could get. Shakur Stevenson, regardless of what we think of Shakur, it's the WBC world title, it's the green and gold belt, it's everything as a fighter coming through you dream of fighting for. It's a life-changing opportunity. In terms of Shakur, it's good we're going to get to see him fight. I don't know what to make of it, mate. Shakur can't catch a break. His attitude at the press conference was kind of, well, he in himself referred to himself as on the way to greatness. I don't know how he's come to that conclusion, but that's how he's referring to himself. And it's just kind of, this doesn't do anything. If after this fight we then don't get another champion or we get another routine defense, I don't feel we're any closer to answering the question of how good Shakur Stevenson is. Fighting out in Saudi will make him a shed ton of money, but it won't do anything for his popularity that we saw was dwindling with fans leaving the arena for his last 2 fights. He's in a tough place in his career. Yes, he should be. It's good he's still fighting after the October pullout, but getting rid of Josh Padley, say, inside 3 or 4 rounds, which is what most people will expect, you've done what you should have done. It's not really going to win him any plaudits or put him any higher up in people's estimations, is it?
No, definitely not. Jay?
I mean, I don't like short notice fights for world titles like this. I think it's unfair on Josh Padley. I know he's getting life-changing money, but this is not how he dreamt of having his world title shot. To go in against somebody like that, you need to be properly prepared, and he's not properly prepared. And this could, change his life in terms of financial, but it could ruin his career. If he gets badly beaten at weekend, he might never recover, and this might be the only chance he gets to fight for a world title, when in truth, he was on the verge of it. Maybe another fight and maybe another 2 fights. He wasn't going to get the Shakur Stevenson fight, but he was close to getting a world title shot. And if this ends badly for him at the weekend, he may never recover. So yes, he may get a load of money. Yeah, he might not have a mortgage. He might not have to go back to work, which is ultimately why they do it. But they also do it. I know my brother was a professional boxer. We used to pretend when we were kids, we'd box and then he'd win the green belt. Everybody wants the green belt. Yeah. So that's what they also dream of as fighters. So he's between a rock and a hard place. He's not going to turn it down because it's an opportunity, and it's about taking opportunities, but it's an opportunity that could also be detrimental to the rest of his career. I wish him all the luck in the world. He's got a puncher's chance, but that's about all he's got. I don't see him getting out of 6 rounds. I think we might see a Shakur Stevenson finish for once, but only because his opponent was in a loft 48 hours ago and he's still prepared for a world title fight.
Yeah, I know where you're coming from, mate. Well, I said on the Floyd Schofield preview when we were talking about it that I thought Shakur would be feeling pressure to stop, the 22-year-old kid. Everyone in his last performance was underwhelmed against Harrod Union. People walking out in his hometown, so on and so forth. If he wasn't under pressure for a stoppage against Floyd Schofield, he's going to be under pressure to stop Josh Padley, who's stepping in, as you say, from a loft on 48 hours notice, isn't really in the same, class as Shakur. That's not a slight on Josh Padley. That's just how good Shakur Stevenson is as a fighter. He's brilliant. Look, I'll kick off the predictions, boys. I don't think there's too much else more to say on that. I think Shakur will stop him. Josh Padley's going to be incredibly brave. He's got absolutely nothing to lose, I may add as well. And like you say, Jay, he's not a huge puncher, but we've seen it a million times before. If you overlook somebody, but Shakur doesn't strike me as that guy. I don't think he is that guy. He's got Mayweather vibes about his mentality. I think Shakur. I'm not saying he's going to be the best ever or anything like that. I'm just saying his mentality. He strikes me.
He'll be prepared and he will fight as such, regardless of who's in front of him. I think he will be prepared and he'll go through the motions as he would have done if it was Schofield in front of him or Tank or anybody else. I don't think we'll see a drop in performance just because it's a short notice replacement. Sorry, man, I cut you off then.
No, you're all right. Yeah, I think Shakur stops him. I think it'll be sort of 6-7 rounds, but I feel like I might be being a bit kind to Padley there. I'm being completely honest, boys. Just calling it as I see it, but wish Josh Padley absolutely nothing but the best on Saturday night. Come on, Josh.
Same. Yeah, look, I'm exactly the same. 6 rounds.
Yeah. Go on, Padley's 10-1 just fight odds. He's 33-1 by decision. For him to, if you want to put money on him to stop Shakur in any round, every single one of those rounds is 100-1. I think that tells you everything you need to know about Josh Padley's chances going into this fight. I do agree with what you said a minute ago, Jay. If he takes a bad enough beating, we may never see him get another crack like this again. And after the high of Wembley last September, that would be a horrendous shame. Look, we know he was building up towards the fight. We believe it was going to be on a Frank Warren The Zone card from things that were starting to come out, which would have been fantastic for him. I just hope whatever happens to him on Saturday night, he gets looked after, not just financially, but Queensbury or Matchroom, as it's Shakur Stevenson, actually put him on one of their cards back in the UK and give him a fight to rebuild himself if that's what he needs after Saturday night. Because the last thing you want is him to jump in at short notice, get taken care of by a very good fighter in Shakur Stevenson, and then just disappear into the abyss and we never hear of him again. That's the last thing we want. So let's hope Matchroom and Queensbury, etc., do look after him in the aftermath. Shakur in 4 rounds. Look, let's not dress it up. I would absolutely love Josh Padley to do it, and I made that joke earlier. Padley inside 3, but it's not going to happen. Shakur may not have a better opportunity to get a stoppage in a world title fight anytime soon, and he has to do it on Saturday night. He can't go 12 rounds. No. Josh Padley has done, Josh Padley has hit the jackpot if he can hear the judges' scorecards on Saturday night. That's the reality. Shakur cannot afford to get into the second half of this fight. I think 4 rounds, it's all over.
I'm with you.
It's lined up in favour of Shakur Stevenson, and I'll reiterate this to whoever's watching. It's not about being negative on Josh Padley, and we're Brits and we all back him. I'm from Yorkshire. I live 15 minutes from him. I've seen him at work and pounding the streets, and I'm a big fan of his. I've just lived the other side of the fence. I've seen fighters take fights they shouldn't have taken. I've seen fighters have fights after they should have retired. My brother's got a brain injury through getting too many punches. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but I'm just fearful that we might not. I don't mean that he's going to get a serious injury. I'm just fearful for what the implications are in his career.
You just mean there's levels difference.
Yeah, and I just don't think he's ready for this level of opponent on this short notice. If he had a full fight camp, 8 to 12 weeks, I still think he gets beat. I would have wanted him to have a camp to give himself the best chance possible. He's not giving himself the best chance possible. I get it's good money, but his team, for me, are putting him at risk. Good luck, Josh Padley. I hope you can, mate, but I see you getting stopped inside 6 rounds.
We've got a few comments coming in. Evening, DJ Pat. Hope you're well. Yes, I agree with your statement there. Pat's agreeing with where us 3 are kind of at as well for the Stevenson knockout. We've got Lloyd in the house. Hope you're well, Lloyd. Thanks for joining us as always. Shakur UD for him. Just leading into the last comment before we close off for this one. Jacob, thanks for joining us as well. Different fight, but who do you see? In the next minute or two, we're switching over and we're going to do Bakole versus Parker. Just announced. We've got some big opinions on that one between the three of us. So join us in just a minute or so, and we're going to be one of the first outlets to give our predictions for the fight that was announced around about 20 minutes ago or so. So Shakur stoppage for the three of us here. Thanks to those that have tuned in. And we will do Joe Parker versus Martin Bakole in 2 minutes. Take care, guys.
Thank you.